I still have an accent.
Yeah.
Like you still hear it.
When you say accent, you also said, I heard you say ambulance the other day, and you have a strong one when you say that word.
Ambulance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I catch mine now because people will call it out sometimes. I definitely almost always have one. If I say while, I say while all the time. And then if I say I in the middle of a sentence, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going somewhere. Or like it gets softer or more twangy.
I can completely turn it off.
Yeah, I know how to turn it off.
Yeah, I can turn it off. But when I'm just speaking casually, and thank God I don't drink anymore.
It gets worse when you drink, right?
It gets so much worse
Me
when I
too.
drink.
Or
So
if I'm
much
around
worse.
other people that sound like that.
I mean, 3 beers in, I'm like, hey, where's the pick 'em up truck? We go to the demolition derby. Where's Piggly Wiggly around here? Hey, man, you got any cigarettes?
Family brings joy, it's childhood destroyed. Hey, it's Tammy's boy. Tammy's boy, Tammy's boy. Hey, it's Tammy's boy.
Tammy's Boy Podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. Jon Carden is not a licensed therapist. He is just a friend.
Hey, everybody. Welcome on in for another fun-filled episode of Tammy's Boy. This is the podcast where we talk about parents, and usually it leads to something fun. If you don't know me by now, you should. I'm Jon Carden, a.k.a. Tammy's Boy. I do this podcast because I sold pain pills to my biology teacher that I stole from my mom. This is the show where we just have fun, and we talk about stuff. So, hear from my producer now.
Guys, how are we doing? We got a great episode for you today. The full video, as always, is going to be available on YouTube and Spotify and all of your other podcast listening platforms. That just in case you don't like watching it, I think you should because I think it looks pretty good, but that's just me. No matter where you're watching it or listening to it, please give us a shout out, like, subscribe. Like I said, guys, that's enough out of me. John, who do we got on the couch today?
Today we have my good friend, person I'm doing a show with tonight. We're actually spending pretty much the whole day together. She's the host of Litty Titty Tuesday. She took
Thursday
me to get
now.
Litty Titty Thursday. Litty Titty Tuesday just had a better ring. I'm sorry.
I know, it does.
It's a worse day, but like it was a better ring.
It sounds good. Yeah.
It does. All right, the host of Litty Titty Thursday at Creek and Cave at 10:30s, right? At 10 o'clock. I'm fucking this one up. I'm on the show tonight.
Cut that.
I'm on that show
Yeah,
tonight.
reminder, the show is at 10 tonight, John.
I'll be there at 10:30.
Yeah. That's the Austin start time, actually.
Yeah, it is the Austin start time. It's Allison Wojtowecz, everybody.
Yay.
Did I say it right?
Yes, you got it.
I've
let's
studied
spell
that
it.
name for 6 years. I literally, that name will plague me to the day I die.
Me too.
I mean, God, you could have just went with Woj.
That's what everyone
W-O-J.
calls my dad. That's what everyone calls my dad.
Woj?
So yeah, that was like his pee-wee football coach didn't want to say the whole last name.
Who blames him?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Where'd your dad grow up?
Upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vujovich.
He was surrounded by Polacks, and they still said this is too much.
Hey, you guys, Vujovich is here.
Saying it with an Italian accent.
Vujovich. You got to do a little bit of Vujovich in it. All right, that was fun. So we always start this real simply. It's one simple question. It's who raised you?
My parents.
It's a common answer.
My parents
common
raised
answer.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, both of them?
Both of them.
How'd they meet?
They met on a blind date when my mom was still in high school and my dad was in college.
Uh-oh, a little saucy. Starting a little provocatively. Dad was picking him young.
Same old Woj.
Yeah, you know.
Same old Woj.
Well, I think it was, I think my dad's younger brother liked to date girls that were older than him. So
He switched?
So it was like my mom is 2 years older than my uncle, and he was dating my mom's friend at the time. And so it was like uncle and friend were like, you guys should meet.
Okay.
And like set up the blind date. And yeah, and then I guess on the blind date, they realized they had been checking each other out at a football game like a few weeks prior. Like my mom said they sat down at the date, and my dad was like, were you at this football game with this little dog? And my mom was like, were you the guy with the sunglasses?
It was like the 90s equivalent of seeing a Facebook post.
Yeah. I think I liked your TikTok last week.
You got a white dog, right? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So they met through a blind date. How long were they together before you were born?
They dated for 7 years before they got married. And then
Somebody's got commitment issues.
well, they were also young. I mean,
Yeah, he had to wait a little bit before
yeah,
he
I
could
think
Legally.
legally and logistically. I
It
mean,
wasn't quite Jerry Seinfeld, but
yeah, I think the ages I was given were 16 and 18. So it's not
not bad.
that's not bad.
No. Nobody's going to bat an eye at 24 and 22.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think that's the age that they were married. So I think they dated like 6-7 years. Yeah, you were right. 23, 25, something like that. And then my mom was 27 when she had me. So they were together like
That's like a good
11.
standard American timeline.
yeah.
That's like the almost ideal for what society kind of wants from you, right?
Well, I feel like that was the norm, in
Especially if
previous
it's a high school
generations.
sweetheart or college sweetheart
Exactly.
situation, you have the leeway of like, we're together 7 years, we get married, we're still in our mid 20s. And then we
Yeah.
can be married a few years before we start having kids.
I think that's even slow traditionally.
Yeah.
Like from like the 50s and 60s.
Oh, it definitely was slow, like from marriage to kids. I even said that to my mom. Like they waited almost 5 years to
Yeah.
have me,
Yeah. What made them feel like they were ready for kids when they did, do you know?
I never asked. I don't know. I would guess just like knowing my dad, he really likes to plan ahead for things. And so my guess is probably he was like, okay, we can actually afford to move into a small house and now we have the space for it. So that would probably be what it was. Because they got married in 1990 and they had like just moved to Texas around that time too. It was like they moved to Texas and then they went back home for the wedding
Okay.
and then they were here.
And they just stayed here,
Yeah.
put down roots
Yep.
in Round Rock.
Yep. This little town called IBM hired my dad as an entry-level programmer when he graduated from a small college in upstate New York.
Wow.
And he called my mom and said, pack your cowboy boots, we're moving to Texas. And she thought he was kidding.
He was not.
He wasn't.
He was not.
She said she cried. He said she cried to the Pennsylvania border and he stopped the car and was like, if you don't stop crying, I'm dropping you back off at home.
Get your shit together or I'm going to turn around.
He was like, look, I get it. This is far, but also we can't do this for 3 days. Yeah.
Listen, if you're still crying at Indiana, you're on your own.
Yeah. You're going to have to hitchhike back.
Yeah. Straight up.
Stretch that thumb, bitch.
Listen, you're blowing our snack budget on Kleenexes. I want jerky. That's hilarious. What's your earliest memory with your mom and dad?
Oh, you're going to laugh at this one. Oh my God. My earliest memory with my dad is going dove hunting.
I knew it was going to be hunting.
And I specifically remember it because we still have the photo. Like my mom will still pull the photo out and I remember taking that photo. But I was probably like 3 or something. And he let me get my little camo on and he obviously gave me just like a fake shotgun. I'm holding like an orange tip gun in the little photo. And like, I just got to go sit with him. I didn't actually start shooting things obviously till I was older, but I definitely remember like getting ready for that hunting trip and being really excited because I got to go sit with dad and like taking that photo with that little fake gun.
How old were you when you shot your first animal?
10.
10.
I was 10 and it was an over 300-pound boar that might have been the state record that year had I entered it.
Wow.
And that YouTube video is doing really well. I will send that to you. It's kind of worth an insert.
10-year-old Allison taking down boar.
Yeah, I have a really strong Texan accent in that. I think it's coming back a little bit, but my accent was so strong when I
You
was
lost
a
your
kid.
accent because of theater, right?
Probably a little bit. Definitely a lot of it in high school because my director was very like traditional in the sense that she wanted us to be word perfect if we were doing an older play, which we almost always were.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically all of us would say sure and lawyer. And she was like, it's sure, like pure, and it's lawyer. She would get so frustrated. She was from Maine, so she would get, she had a
Yeah.
perfect American standard accent.
The one they used to get mad at me about was Warsh and Idea.
Warsh. Oh, you put the silent R or the liquid R.
Yeah, but there are in there. Warsh. Yeah, it was my grandmother. She said it like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, theater kind of did it for me too.
Yeah.
Where I still have an accent.
Yeah.
Like you still hear
Well,
it.
when you say accent, you
Yeah.
also said, I heard you say ambulance the other day, and you have a strong one when you say that word.
Ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I catch mine now because people will call it out sometimes. I definitely almost always have one. If I say while, I say while all the time. And then if I say I in the middle of a sentence, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going somewhere. Or like it gets softer or more twangy.
I can completely turn it off.
Yeah, I know how to turn it off.
Yeah, I can turn it off. But when I'm just speaking casually, and thank God I don't drink anymore.
It gets worse when you drink,
It
right?
gets so much
Me
worse when I
too.
drink.
Or
So
if I'm
much
around
worse.
other people that sound like that.
I mean, 3 beers in, I'm like, hey, where's the pick 'em up truck? We go to the demolition derby. Where's Piggly Wiggly around here? Hey, fuck, man, you got any cigarettes?
Dude, Destiny called me a couple months ago and I was like, yeah, I'm fixing to go do this real fast and then I'll be over. And she just goes, what did you just say to me? She
fixing
goes,
to?
repeat that again.
Yeah, I'm fixing to is a southern thing
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just got to shoot a short film with one of my friends and luckily the movie is set in Austin.
Okay.
But on the first day of filming, I was like, am I supposed to change my accent? Because I will
a good
sound a
question.
little bit Texan if you just tell me to speak normally, but he just told me to keep it because it's in Austin.
My
Yeah.
daughter does the perfect Texas accent where she goes like, Texas.
Oh yeah, with the little whistle on the
Yeah.
S. That's good.
It's perfect the way
Wait, was
does
she
it.
born here?
She was born in San Antonio. So I had 2 kids born in Texas and 1 born in Washington State.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you still hunt with your dad all the time?
I do. I said
Is that
no.
like y'all's thing?
Yeah, we try to go. I try to go at least like once per season, which isn't even that much. But like I specifically turned down a bunch of shows next weekend because it's opening weekend for dove season, and I think my brother's actually gonna go too.
I promise you, you were the only white female comedian that has done that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could just staple that.
Yeah,
Just tag Cameron Haynes in everything you do.
I wish. I would love to go hunting with like an actual like adventure hunt like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That shit would be crazy.
That's the only way you could get me to hunt again.
to do something extreme like that.
Yeah, it's the only way. I'm
Yeah.
not sitting in a deer blind for 6 hours, freezing my ass off at 4:30 in the morning, trying to make sure I don't let anything out that smells.
I will. I will be very honest. I'm such a bitch about the morning hunt. Like
I hate it.
I really try my hardest to shoot something in the evening, so I feel less guilty about sleeping in the morning.
Oh, I get that. Yeah, I'll take I'll take a doe down at dusk so I don't have to wake up for a buck.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Because I'm also like a little bitch in the woods. Like I'm so scared, like because I'm aware of all of the stuff that's out there. I'm so scared to be out there when it's dark for too long. And so the morning hunt, especially by myself, really freaks me out because you have to go out, like an hour before sunrise or something.
Oh, I know.
Stake out. And yeah, I just hate like sitting in the dark in the deer blind. Especially if there's no wind, then it automatically makes it quiet. Like if it's quiet in the
Yeah.
woods, I'm going home. It's so
That's-
scary.
The first rustle of a leaf, you're out.
Yeah, well, because I'm also a little bit traumatized because I was hunting by myself one time. There's a hair on this. And I was hunting by myself one time in daylight, like it was the evening hunt. So the sun was going down. And I was just in a group of trees that I had really good 360 about, except directly behind me.
Yeah.
And I had these my shooting headphones on, but they're ones that can like amplify the quiet noise. And so I just heard rustling behind me, and I always misjudge the size of the animal I hear rustling. If it's a squirrel, I think it's a deer. And in this case, if it's a fucking group of pigs, I think it's a squirrel. And by the time I actually turned around to look, there was 5 pigs like less than 5 yards from me that didn't smell or hear me yet, and they're blind pretty much, so they didn't see me. And within like 5 seconds, I had the thought, you can stay quiet and try to slowly turn around and shoot. You can kick this chair that you're sitting in at them. Like you can stand up
Yeah.
and kick behind you and make as much noise as possible while you try to shoot, or you can stand up, kick, run. And I chose the second option. I stood up, I kicked the chair at them, and I turned around with the gun. But like, I mean, they're pigs. They're scared of things most of the time. So they just
ran off,
and I didn't even get a shot. But like, that was so scary to me.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Hogs are scary.
Yes.
Yeah,
and luckily they were small ones. They were like 60 pounders. But like I said, I shot a 300 pounder.
Yeah.
And we do have them, 1 to 200 pounds all over the place.
Oh, all over the place. In super herds.
And they get teeth,
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
There'll be super herds. I had a friend, this isn't my story, it was his. He was out hunting South Texas, like I'm thinking Brownwood, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And they could hear it coming, right?
The group of pigs.
Yeah, you could hear it. I think he said it was like over maybe 2,000.
Oh, we don't get it like that where I'm at, but that is crazy.
Yeah, and he said they had to like jump up on the truck, and the whole truck was shaking, and they were running by, and like he said, it was literally like you were shining your light. It was just a sea
Pigs.
of pigs. He goes, it only lasted about like maybe 45 seconds to a minute. He goes, but it was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, chaos.
He goes, if anybody would have stayed ground level, they're dead.
Just trampled.
Yeah, they're
dead. Yeah, especially when they get going like that, because it's like you don't know what they're running from. Are they mad? Like, are they scared of something?
Yeah.
Because then they're not going to stop. Are they fighting each other? Because then you're definitely fucked.
Yep. Yeah, I don't hunt anymore, and it's not because like, it's not convenient anymore.
I mean, it's not. You heard me. I was like, I try to go twice. Like,
Yeah.
I try to go once for a dove season and once for deer season. Sometimes I get lucky and I can go like after Christmas, which is both.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely a commitment. And
It was so convenient for me when I lived on a tobacco farm.
well,
Because we
and
had 360 acres.
exactly. And in Texas, there's so much private land.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't have a friend or your own property,
Absolutely.
you're fighting
Yeah.
everyone else at Fort Hood, pretty much.
Yeah.
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 Did I hit close to home with that one?
Don't bring up Fort Hood on this podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's bad for both of you.
Bad for both of us.
It does make me upset that that's like a lot of veterans' only experience of Texas, and then they're like, "Fuck that state forever."
I mean, Killeen is a bad experience.
Yeah, I don't.
Kelleen's not a fun
I
experience.
also don't like Killeen. Let's be very clear.
Yeah, Killeen is a dirty, nasty
Unless you want me to do
place.
comedy there, I'll go.
I won't. I won't. Unless I'm selling out Bell County Expo Center, you're not going to catch my ass in fucking Killeen. You're just not. So your thing hunting is with your hunting is your thing with your dad. What's your thing with your mom?
My mom is definitely the artist, and was like, she was stay
That's
at
where
home.
you get your theater side.
That's where I get the theater side. That's where I get the like chase your passion thing. Earliest memory with my mom. I mean, I definitely have one, but it sounds fucking crazy. It's actually a cool memory, though. I'll share it with you, and we can figure out if we want to keep it afterwards. But genuinely the earliest memory I have with my mom, I was probably 2, and I walked into the kitchen when she was cooking one day, and the way the kitchen was like, she's over here, there's the dining table right here, and I walked in, and I remember seeing just a woman standing behind the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, like glowing, like I would describe it as an angel now. Whatever I saw was like extremely pleasant. I was not scared.
Yeah.
And I remember just so casually turning to my mom and being like, "Hey, who's that?" And she just was like, "What are you talking about?" And she kind of turned around and was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I argued with her for like 5 minutes. Like it just looked to me like there was a person there.
Yeah.
And like she finally turned around and fully looked and was like, "Allison, there's no one there. It's okay. Let's go do something else." And she like just brought me to like go work on arts and crafts or something, like kind of just diverted me.
What'd you do? Draw the angel?
And I don't think I did, but like she like still retells that story all the time because like she was just like, "I don't know what to do, but you weren't scared." And like I think that's like a really good indicator of just how she was too. Like she would talk to us like we were normal, but she would also try to explain things in like a calm way.
But both of your parents are religious, right?
Yes, but I would say that my mom was the one kind of leading the religion in the house. Like my dad was raised Catholic and didn't necessarily like that. So I really didn't ever talk to him about actual beliefs and stuff like that until he got cancer in 2017.
Oh wow.
It was
you guys listen to Tim McGraw, Live Like You're Dying together. Live like you're
Sometimes.
dying.
But I mean, so yeah, it was like my dad was raised Catholic, my mom was raised Lutheran. I think she like technically converted or whatever you're supposed to do to get married in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
But
So she did a couple masses, a few Our Fathers, and a couple Hail
yeah,
Marys.
whatever the thing is to be like, okay, you can get married in the Catholic Church. She did that, and me and my brother were both baptized Catholic,
Okay.
like as babies. But my dad,
Cup, not a pool.
yes, my dad never like really went to church. He didn't like going to church, and so when my mom realized that she was just taking her kids to Catholic mass by herself, she was like, "We're going back to Lutheran church."
Okay.
So I was raised Lutheran, and then yeah,
Do you still have your faith now?
yes.
Okay.
I would call it like I don't go to church.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is real to me though. Like I definitely believe in Jesus. I think that the church has messed up a lot of the things that were being taught. Like I'm currently like really into the Dead Sea Scrolls and
Okay.
like the Gnostic Bible and stuff. Like
Yeah.
just learning the stuff that was excluded by the church.
Yeah. Everything comes from something.
Yeah. I definitely also love reading like Stoic philosophy things, you know, from earlier times and seeing how relevant it is still to like a Christian
Yeah.
ideology. I like learning about all of them, honestly. And I'm not one of those people that's going to be like, you're wrong. Like you're not going to go to heaven. You're not going to, whatever the next thing is, I don't think you're being denied it by believing not in Jesus or like, you know what I mean? Which
Yeah,
is
I
a
get what you're
tough,
saying.
which is a tough thing, but also like it is reflective of how I was raised quite a bit. Like my mom is pretty Christian now. Like she's pretty adamant on like Jesus is the way and stuff. But most of what we were taught growing up was just God is love and therefore love is God. Just be kind. Like that's the number one rule. And I don't really know why like my parents weren't the stereotypical church Bible beater people. I think it's probably just because they came from not a lot. Like they
Yeah.
did not have money growing up. My mom.
But it seems like your parents have good values. And
good
good
value.
morals.
Yeah, it's like their traditional values, but like not like a lot of the stereotypes you would expect to go with that. Like I said, my dad took me hunting when I was 3. Like my brother couldn't even go hunting then yet. He was like, "No, I'm taking my daughter." You know,
Yeah.
it was like Shania Twain feminism almost, where it's like girls can do anything guys can do, but like keep your standards high and don't just like fall for anything type shit. I don't know. It was like just we're raised equally. And yeah, I never had any sense of like bigotry of any sort from them about like racism or like I know my mom had a brother who was gay and he passed away from AIDS in like right after my parents' wedding.
Oh wow.
So I think that maybe affected like some stuff. But
Was your mom's brother Freddie Mercury?
dude,
Because that's
He
like right around the
sounded-
time he died.
he sounded like he was just as cool. His name
Yeah.
was Jimmy, and he
Jimmy fucked.
yeah. He was a high-end restaurant manager in New York City in the
wow.
80s. And my mom said he took her like to like some of the crazy there's like one of the clubs that had like a moving floor that would go up and down, like just the crazy 80s New York clubs. She was like, "Oh yeah, he knew all the door guys everywhere. Like we'd just get in wherever we went." I'm like so sad that I never got to meet him. Genuinely.
I wonder how he knew those door guys.
Jimmy was fun.
That's what I'm gonna start saying about all the whores I've dated.
She was fun. She was a good time. She knew all the door guys.
That's pretty much exactly it. 100%. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. The more I studied religion, the more I lost my faith. And for some people, it's the opposite, right? The more
Yeah.
they study, the more they find it. But for me, it was like I started reading about Sumerian gods and Mesopotamian gods and all these different like Ra and Way. And
Yeah.
the more that I learned about history, the more I realized that things repeat throughout humanity.
That's kind of like the conclusion that I'm coming to a little bit is like we just like you see it when you take a storytelling class too, right? Like there's these repetitive themes, there's these archetypes, there's these things that are represented in mythology and religion from different areas or across different times. To me, that's like more proof of some sort of God or some sort of bigger thing that is trying to teach us the same thing over and over again. And whatever the symbology is at the time is hopefully what that society will understand.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we're in a place where I see it a lot, and I don't believe in forcing religion.
Same.
And I've seen it done a lot with parents, especially in the South,
Yeah.
where I don't think you should force religion. I think you should present it.
Present it and maybe even present why you chose it.
Absolutely.
But
I always feel like religion should be your option, and it shouldn't be your,
because it
your
ultimately
destiny.
is. Because I was thinking about this earlier. Like, if you're marrying between religions and one partner is like really strict on like we need to
Yes.
do this thing, and you say, okay, I'll convert.
Yeah.
You converted on paper, but did your beliefs actually change? There's been so many conversions for marriage throughout time. Like,
Yes.
no one's beliefs are actually changing. You're
You're,
talking.
you're
like,
accepting it.
You're
more
accepting it and saying, okay, cool. Like, this is my concession for you. You want to raise the kids with this belief? Sure, whatever. Like, it's not really a conversion,
It's like
unless you
transferring
come
to
to it
another
yourself.
school,
I mean,
you know?
you said
Yeah.
that like the more you studied it, the more you lost a faith. I felt like the lines were blurred a lot more for me, but faith became a lot more personal. Or like it made a lot more sense to me why faith was so personal, and you need to have that inner element, which the Christian church doesn't do a good job of teaching. Like, I heard someone say one time that prayer is talking to God, meditation is listening to God.
Okay.
And Christianity only teaches you to basically like word vomit your things that you need onto God.
Yeah.
And maybe you sit there and you're quiet for a second during the prayer, but you're not actually learning how to sit there and be with yourself and clear your brain out so that something else can like calm you down or come into it. And it just made me understand so much more about, like, I was very involved in church growing up. I went on mission trips.
Yeah, I was too.
Young life leader, like all those things. And
Vacation Bible School.
VBS, totally. And like, I liked the sermons. I really liked the music in the sermons because I think I could like listen and just be in my own little thing during that.
My
But
God is an awesome God. He reigns.
But I really liked the fucking like the one on like the small groups, or like where I could sit by myself and learn stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I think it's because we're supposed to have that alone time too, and you're supposed to formulate.
Yeah, you have to be able to reflect, right,
Yeah.
on what you're saying and receive,
And what
as
you
well,
actually
yeah.
believe. you
Yeah,
know?
I love that. Yeah, I love what you said, where prayer is talking to God, but meditation is listening.
Yeah.
I think that's very profound, and I think people need to hear that, because I think that's also true in life when you're just communicating with people.
Right.
We get so, I know I do, where I get so caught up on what I'm going to say that I don't think about what they're saying,
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you got a brother, right?
I do.
Younger?
Younger brother. He's 2 years younger. He's married. He's been married for 5 years this September.
You're like the black sheep.
It's so weird. I don't like, if you look at my track record from child to graduating college, me doing stand-up comedy does not make any sense. Like, I was a straight A student. I double majored at UT and graduated on time.
Yeah.
I worked through college. I was in
Well,
a
that explains
sorority.
why you write jokes about fucking Equifax.
I didn't say it was a good joke, John.
I mean, that explains it. You know what I mean? I figured it out. I didn't hear a Boost Mobile joke in there. Metro PCS.
Cricket Wireless.
Yeah, Metro PCS never came up. I didn't hear you mention a check cash in place.
Oh my
A
God.
payday loan spot. That didn't arise. Oh. Does your brother have a close relationship with your family too? With your
Yes.
parents? Yeah?
Yeah. Yep. Very close. Like I said, I think he's going to go hunting with us next weekend too. So it'll be an Allison dad TJ reunion weekend. Hopefully.
What does your mom do for a living?
She is a photographer and artist.
Okay.
She was stay at home when I was younger, but she started she's always been an artist. Like, if you ever see our house, every room is like a different design.
Yeah.
It somehow all goes together though.
That's cool.
And then there's just pieces of art or photos that she's taken throughout the years, like everywhere.
So she's definitely like a homemaking mom.
Yes,
Okay.
very much. I would describe my parents overall, especially like my mom. My dad had to travel a lot for work, but I would describe both of my parents as like the neighborhood parents. Like if anyone
Yeah.
else needed anything, they knew they could call my parents, and they did sometimes. Like I know for sure one of my best friends called my dad a couple of times because she kept running out of gas. Like she'd just
Yeah.
forget to refill her car with gas, and her parents wouldn't answer, so she'd call my dad, you know?
Yeah, we all have those.
Yeah.
Did you ever get in any trouble growing up?
No. I was so scared of getting in trouble, dude.
Yeah, you
Like-
just walk the line.
I walked the line. I look back on it now because now I'm like so protective of like, I'm such a control freak about like my schedule or just what I'm doing or things that I want to work on versus what I don't. And I'm spoiled in the sense that I get to design my work days like that or just my life like that. But I really think I just tried to be a straight A student and like get through things without getting in trouble because it seemed like the easiest way to get through it. You know?
Yeah.
Like I didn't necessarily like school. I just have a good memory. So I was good at taking tests,
Yeah, I was the same way.
you know?
Yeah, that's why you act, right? Is because
Yeah.
you have that crazy memory where you can just absorb 100 lines and then spit them back out.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, even like once you get to college, like I had a really big scare. I was scared to go to college because my mom was like, you've never had to study in high school. Somehow you got straight A's. You're going to UT. Like, you need to learn to study. And she freaked me out so much that I like studied a shit ton in college and I still did good. But like also by the time you're in college,
You did well.
there you go. Theater degree, hook 'em horns. She's a Texas Exes member for life, baby.
Oh man, that was so easy. God, that was perfect. That was perfect. Clip that.
Jesus Christ, we better win the football game on Saturday. Give me something.
Yeah, Arch Manning's not winning the spelling bee. That's for sure. That's an Indian kid.
Yeah, they taught me how to spell UT. Does that count?
That's so funny. I did good.
I did good. But yeah, I mean, I also just think you tend to do better in college because you like what you're studying, you know. And theater
Did your
classes
brother
are
ever get in
easy.
trouble growing up?
Not really. He was more like
So your parents weren't like super disciplinarians.
no, but they also like didn't necessarily have to be.
Okay.
I think we each got spanked like a couple times when we were younger, and my mom felt so bad she didn't want to do that anymore.
Spanking's a slippery slope.
So she went to timeout, and then I think my brother got like soap in the mouth a couple times for saying bad words.
As
but that
you
was
do.
it.
yeah, but you
yeah.
earned that.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely said shit or something. Literally, like yeah, he definitely said something that he shouldn't have said. So
What the shit, mama?
yeah.
No, not the dawn again. Oh man, I definitely got my mouth washed out a couple times with soap.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Same here.
Yeah,
That one's like kind of a funny punishment to me.
it's kind of one that I look back on where I'm like I'm happy that happened. You
Yeah.
know? It's like it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like
It wasn't
I gotta
actual.
say I gotta say that I actually did have soap in my mouth.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Now that's only if it's a
it's-
bar. If it's liquid, that's a whole different story.
It's kind of like a corporal punishment that's not actually painful though. It's just like, oh, this sucks.
well,
this tastes
it's
bad.
a rite of passage in a weird way, especially in American culture. Like if you
Yeah.
haven't, and also this is archaic thinking. I don't know how many people still wash their kids' mouth out with soap.
I kind of want to do it.
Well,
If I ever
just
have
once.
kids.
Maybe you could just talk to the kids and just be like, "Will you do this? It was a cool thing when I was a kid. You should just do it."
Hey, you should try
Yeah.
this. We love doing this. And
you just prank your
gaslight
kid.
them into it.
Well, now all you got to do is make it a challenge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
How long can you soap
Rinse
in the
your
mouth
mouth out
challenge?
with soap challenge.
Who can hold the bar the longest?
And then kids are going to be doing it constantly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
we
like
should start
Tide
that.
Pods.
We could start that. TikTok challenge.
That's an idea.
I'd put a
You
bar of
heard
soap
it
in
here
my
on
mouth.
Tammy's Boy First. Soap in your mouth challenge for ALS research. Get ready. Anybody with Lou Gehrig's disease, we're going to cure you. I can't wait. That's so messed up. That's so messed up.
R.I.P. all those ice buckets, though.
Do you think that was probably the worst punishment you saw your parents dole out was the soap in the mouth?
Yeah.
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 How nice is that? I had to copy chapters of the Bible when I was 9 years old.
Oh man.
I know.
That
Talk about not
sucks.
forcing religion on someone.
Yeah. Seriously,
I got turned into a religious Xerox. And I even had to copy like,
Like we already had a printing press by then.
dude, what do you mean? Benjamin Franklin had been dead 100 years. Like there was plenty of technology here where I didn't need to do this.
Is your handwriting good now though?
I have a very feminine handwriting.
So that means it's good.
Yes.
That
But
sucks.
also I learned because like I had crazy punishments growing up. And
Yeah.
it was far beyond what any kid should ever be punished. One of the things that one of my stepdads liked to do was to put a quota on sentences, and you had to write so many sentences in order to be able to eat. And if you only wrote like 400 for the day, you got like 1 tomato. But if you wrote like 800, you got like a sandwich and a cup of water. And if you wrote like 1,200 sentences, you got what resembled pretty much a full meal. But it was only one meal. And that was like during the summers a lot.
when he was also making you work and shit.
I was working in tobacco too. Yeah. So I mean that yeah, like I said, I was hyper punished as a kid. But because of that, I can write very quickly.
Yeah.
And very legibly.
Right.
Yeah, because he would go back and like go through them all. If there were sentences that were like messed up, he would mark
it.
them out. Yeah. I remember one time I had 1,200 sentences and I was ready to eat, dude. I was so excited. And I come out, he knocked out like 30 and was like, go back in there. Dude, I tell you what, I'm not a ragey kid, but I broke some shit that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't put me in the same room as your model airplanes, Randy, and starve me, okay? You're going to be missing a fuselage or two.
That's fair.
Yeah, that was, that was my fucked up childhood. But I mean, here's the thing is like, I absolutely love hearing about the good ones. Like they're like, you know what I mean? When you've had nothing but white bread your whole life, seeing somebody eat sourdough seems so exciting.
Yeah.
It seems so exciting. And I mean, because I'm a dad and I can't draw all of my parenting experience based on the way I was parented.
Yeah.
I
sure.
have to look at other parents.
Yeah.
I have to look around and be like, okay, what did they do?
Yeah.
What did they do? What did they do? And that's been a large part of this podcast for me, is just looking into like what other people do right. So if you could name like one thing that you think your mom and dad did right, what would it be?
I had this conversation the other day, so I have the perfect answer.
Okay.
It's going to sound weird. They protected our innocence for as long as possible.
Oh, I love that.
Meaning like they let us be kids. Like I said before, if we heard about something that we weren't aware of, they navigated very well. Like if they didn't want us to know what that was just yet, they like knew how somehow to just talk to us but not freak us out and not make us feel like we weren't getting an answer.
Yeah.
I remember my brother found my mom's period pads one time and was just like, what are these? And she was just like, oh, they're just girly things, like we use them with makeup and stuff. And like kind of just like she half lied, but like, like he was 6 or something, like he doesn't need to know. Right. And so just like it was never like, get away from that. You don't need to be in there. Like it was, they knew how to like keep their cool very well. And, yeah, like I never felt like I was like learning about something that I shouldn't know about too young.
Okay.
Which, like,
yeah, and I was definitely overexposed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I hear, like, I mean, obviously we're friends with comedians. I hear about so many people that have been through horrific things, or even just like they had an older sister and they walked in on her watching a movie and like suddenly I'm 6 and someone's fucking on on the thing and I'm like, what's happening? And now mom needs to have the sex talk with a 6-year-old and it's like, okay, like that's. I was the oldest. I didn't have anything like that. It's so it was always just like, okay, like we're gonna talk to her about Santa Claus now. Like even that, like I was able to believe in Santa Claus as a kid for
That's
like
awesome.
a while, you know.
You look like you still believe in Santa.
I do. I send a letter every year.
I don't doubt that one bit. I don't doubt it. Yeah, I imagine you have a special pen.
I do have some nice fountain pens.
Dear Santa, it's me, Allison, again. This is the 27th year in a row.
That was where I got my trauma from being ghosted for the first time.
That's where every woman gets their first ghosting trauma. This is Santa.
Santa.
Yeah, you wonder why so many women have daddy issues. It's because the most fatherly figure of all time ghosts
Never
you.
responds.
He never responds. He just gives you a candy cane and charges you $25 for a picture.
He deleted his profile.
Yeah. He's basically Chris Brown.
New number, who's this?
Santa's Chris Brown. Have you seen those pictures that he takes at the end of shows that people pay like $1,200 for?
No.
Oh, it's crazy. They are very, very sexually suggestive. It
Oh,
is like-
really? Like he's getting up on people?
No, not just that. It's like a woman riding him and he's choking her, and like that's the picture.
Okay, we got these pulled up.
Yeah, they're not pulling up.
Oh, dang.
It's okay. I'll find one to send it to you later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's his meet and greet.
I mean, that's a interesting choice to be posting things like that, considering his history.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. That girl's straddling him.
Yeah. Those are the pictures that people are paying a lot
Wow.
of money for. See? He's choking
Riding
her and
him.
she's riding him.
Yep.
And
Wow.
the thing is their boyfriends are standing off camera.
Yeah, right? Being like, yes, baby.
Yeah, there's
Hell
your
no.
dream.
Yeah.
It's like taking your girlfriend to a zoo.
That's what I'm saying. Would you bring, like, if your wife wanted to take a photo like that, you would be like,
Fuck no.
Look, he's got hands on the ass.
oh my God.
Like in all those pictures, every one of them, he's hands on ass.
I
This
would be
is
like,
why
is he paying us? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
right.
understand this transaction right now.
This is why I like Keanu Reeves. Okay?
Truly. All of these girls are so hot also. This is really upsetting.
I know. Watch Keanu Reeves, okay, take pictures with women. He literally,
He's like,
two hands open. There's no cupping. It's two hands wide open like he's Christ.
your Google's going to be fun.
Let's
Oh,
see
yeah.
if it
He's
shows.
like not even touching
Yeah, he
a
doesn't
lot
even
of
touch
them.
them. Look
Oh,
at
yeah.
that,
Hands in
hands in
pockets.
That's my guy, dude.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
He's ducking out of this one. That's so
Yep.
funny.
Does not do it. He is the exact opposite of Pedro Pascal.
I was going to say Pedro Pascal. Yeah.
Pedro Pascal goes out of his way to touch beautiful women for no reason.
Where do we think that's going to go? Because they've been writing on this anxiety claim for a hot minute, and I don't think it's going to last that much longer.
Well, I think he's just going to sexually assault the wrong woman. You know, I think that's the thing is he's sexually assaulted all the right women.
Yeah, the ones that are just like, oh, it's whatever.
Yeah, they're just compassionate. And they're like trying to be understanding. And I'm not saying, like, I have anxiety. And yes, touch calms me. But it's when someone is touching me.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
It's not when, like,
I don't
touching
need to
you
go touch
actually
someone else.
gives me more anxiety. Like, I'm more anxious now. You know? Like, now I'm just doing this thing.
I don't know where you've been.
Really, I need your touch. I need you to be like, hey, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good. But not
Yeah,
what Pedro
you're just
does.
transferring your anxiety. you're spreading anxiety by doing this.
Yeah, Pedro looks like he's trying to sculpt a woman out of clay. Like he's like,
Yeah. Oh.
look at that.
Yeah, he can't be looking like he's about to kiss all of these different.
The one with Willem Dafoe's wife is pretty.
Yeah, the one with Willem
Fucking
Dafoe's wife.
nuts.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe looks at him like, what the hell,
You
dude?
saw the Green Goblin for 1 second.
Oh, straight up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He came out. Yeah, and Pedro Pascal was looking real Peter Parkery. But yeah, I mean, so one of the things you're thankful for is that your parents, like, they basically protected you.
Yeah, they kept
They
us
protected
safe.
you from the Pedro Pascals of the world.
Yeah, they kept us safe.
That's so
And they
sweet.
also like taught us how to stay safe. Like,
Yeah.
I
Without
mean-
scaring the shit out of you.
right.
Yeah.
Like we're a hunting family. We always had guns in the house. My dad was very pro, like my brother and I both played sports growing up, but even when I stopped in high school to just focus on theater, my dad was like, okay, well, you're working out with me now. Like I had an example of like two parents that were in shape, so I felt like physically safe that way too.
Okay.
Like my dad
Your
played
mom and dad were both gym goers?
gym goers, or just at least like my mom went through different periods throughout my life. Like when I was younger, she was more going on runs, lifting weights. And then by the time I was in high school, it was more like yoga and riding her bike. But I mean, when I say riding her bike, she's doing like 15, 20 miles or something when she goes. Like she's doing a good little up and down hill route. Dad was just, he would run and lift weights like 3 times a week.
I think it's not a competition. All right. But as far as everybody we've had on the podcast, you're like top 3, if not top 2.
There could be a competition.
You're right. Best family. Like hands down.
I was told, so I live with my best friend and her younger sister right now. And I grew up with them. And her younger sister, when me and Anupi met, her younger sister Simran was 1. Me and Anupi met when we were 8. Her sister was 1. So anytime Anupi wanted to come over and play, as soon as Simran was old enough, her mom was shooing Simran out, being like, go play with your sister. And me and Anupi would ditch her with my mom. And then my mom would end up just taking care of Simran or doing whatever.
Yeah.
Simran, help me with this. Simran knows more of my mom's recipes than I do. She's cooking them in the house sometimes. And she told me she wrote an essay on our family in college for like a sociology class or something. She needed an example of a nuclear family.
Yeah.
And she picked ours because, I mean, parents are still together. Mom stayed home, 1 daughter, 1 son. You know, like the kids were roughly similar in age. Like you always had a pet, you know, like very stereotypical suburb family.
That's wild.
Growing up.
Was there ever anything that your parents did, like mom or dad or both, that just drove you crazy as a kid? Maybe not now, but back then it was just like, I hate them for
Anything
this.
you resented them for.
Yeah.
I think I didn't understand how cool they were when I was younger. Like it was a little bit weird to me sometimes that people wanted to like hang out at my house all the time. Like I wanted to go somewhere else or whatever. Even like that they felt comfortable saying certain things to my parents or like divulging things to them. I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. But I would say like maybe in terms of punishment, I didn't like that it was more like guilty. Like if I did something that wasn't like the best or like my mom was warning us against doing something, it was always like, you know, this isn't the right choice. It was always more of like not like a strong Catholic guilt thing. It was never like God says don't do it, so don't do it. But it was still like a guilt
God's watching
type thing. Yeah. But, you know, that being said, like I also knew that if push comes to shove, like they straight up were the parents that told me like, if you end up drunk at a party and you need a ride, call us. You know, like we'd rather you end up back home than dead, you know, things like that.
Yeah, you have to accept that your children are going to do things.
Yeah.
And you have to accept that they're not, it's impossible, even in a vacuum, to raise a perfect person.
Yeah, for sure.
The only thing you can do is the best you possibly can.
Yeah.
And I think that parents that don't exactly like abolish, you know, the taboo things and leave a door open are some of the best parents.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you should push your kid through the door.
Right.
But I definitely think you should be like, hey, this is the door. This is what's on the other side of it. The further you go in there,
the worse it gets.
The worse it gets.
Or the crazier it gets. Yeah.
Stand by the doorway.
Yeah.
You know, stand by the threshold.
Right.
Have your fun, but be able to make your way out. You know, and I think that's kind of the way that we need to parent maybe. Instead of being like, you know, my mom, where it's like, hey, you want roll me a joint?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it can't be too in the face. I mean, I also think like, I think about my extended family a lot because like my immediate family is just, you know, who we've talked about. But even my like aunts, uncles, cousins, like I have 7 cousins total on both sides of my family. Like it's not a huge family. But I mean, we're like 1 degree away from being in the trailer park. You know what I mean? Like my parents came from nothing. There's all this stuff. And I grew up very aware that a lot of my great grandparents died from smoking cigarettes or at least lung cancer. And a lot of them were alcoholics.
Yeah.
So it was always like, I don't like to drink at all. My parents will drink on occasion, like on the weekends and stuff, but it was always just like fun or like if we're throwing a barbecue or something. But yeah, like
the thing is, when you come from nothing, you still know a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't go away. All the connections that you had growing up, you still have.
Yeah.
You're just doing better than them.
Yeah.
And it's a weird little dynamic that gets created because it's easy for people to resent you, right?
Right.
Like, oh, Tom thinks he's so much better than us. So he's just because he's got a truck with 6 tires on it.
Yeah.
You know, and it really is that, where that resentment is so easily built for
Right.
somebody that is literally just doing something positive for their life.
Right.
And it's so hard to get away from that nothing.
Right.
And I get it completely, where it's like, no matter how well you do, you still know a lot of people that aren't doing well.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a reminder.
It is.
It's almost like a reminder every day that you have to keep working, you have to keep going after your goals, because you see the qualities that they possess and what little it does for them.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we're not all equal in terms of like the starting point that we get.
Absolutely. But we all in the same.
But I think most of the time there's always an option. It's not always an easy option. Like I've had this talk with my dad a lot. Like last time we were both back in upstate New York. They're from tiny towns in upstate New York. The closest towns I can name are Albany and Saratoga, but they're from like little towns between those, you know? Yeah. I was driving around with my dad and I was just like, nothing here has changed since I was a kid. Like, I know where I'm going in this little town and I'm not even from here.
Yeah.
And I just was like, did you know that you were escaping something when you took this random job in a town you've never been to in Texas? And he was like, no. He goes, the only reason I even took the job was because I was doing my research. And he was like, all of the jobs up here had like a salary cap that wasn't that great. And IBM was offering me a worse starting salary to move to Texas, but the upwards potential was infinite if I was willing to work.
Yeah.
And so he was like, you know, it's crazy to think that I could have chosen to stay up here and capped out at $60K a year 20 years ago and stayed in the same programming job and done whatever, and we would have been closer to family and da-da-da-da-da. But like, I was able to move to Texas and create a whole different life for myself.
Yeah, your dad has a ranch.
And he owns a fucking ranch. You know what I mean? So like, and that was also...
Shout out to Pops, take me hunting.
Same
I do
here.
want to take some of the homies hunting soon. Like,
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, it's
I got the
mostly
stuff. Let's go.
it's mostly like a safety concern, obviously.
I mean, I can shoot the
but-
dick off a gnat from half a mile away.
Yeah.
It's not safety with me. It's like,
Well,
I grew up with a gun in my hand.
Yeah. But it's like my dad knowing who the people are on his property, just to make sure we're safe in that
I have a
regard.
feeling your dad would love me.
My dad would love you.
Your dad would
Both
love
of my
me.
parents would love you.
Yeah, for sure. I already know I'd love him.
They also just tell me I can bring friends home for holidays and shit. So let me know if you need to come home for Thanksgiving, because you can just come eat with us.
I usually cook Thanksgiving.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
For the whole fam?
Yeah,
Love that.
I cook Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I don't love cooking Thanksgiving. It is such.
Do you bake or fry a turkey?
I bake.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm old school. I
Yeah.
based.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With the
I based.
stuffing.
I do like the bags, like the big oven bags that you put them in. I
Yeah.
like those. But I've also done it just in the oven for 6 hours, however long it takes.
Yeah.
My thing that I hate is once I've made the turkey, when I've got to make all the other stuff.
Yeah. The sides.
Yeah, because the sides have to be made right. You can't mail it in on the sides,
Yeah.
right? The sides
They
have
make
to
the
be-
meal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to have sweet potato casserole. You got to have yams. You got to have mac and cheese. Even if you're not going to eat half that shit.
Someone
And
wants
you
it.
won't. You're
And you
not going
won't.
to eat half of it.
I can't eat most of the things that I cook for Thanksgiving.
Do you do traditional stuffing still, or do you make
I've
it
got
gluten-free?
gluten-free
I was
stuffing
going to say
from
they've
Trader
got,
Joe's in the cabinet right now.
they've got good gluten-free stuffings now, dude.
It's really good. The Trader Joe's one's so good.
That's good to know. I'm going to go get that.
Yeah, it's so good. Well, we always wrap this up by asking if you have one piece of parenting advice to give to every parent out there based on how you were raised, which I feel like it's kind of been like the general theme of this pod so
Yeah.
far. This might even be a little bit redundant. But if you had one piece of advice to give to other parents based on how you were parented, what would it be?
I mean, it feels redundant, but I think it is just protect your kids' innocence in
Yeah.
like the full sense. Don't scare them. or do your best not to scare them. Do your best to let them have fun and be creative.
Yeah.
I really am like so thankful for having a mom that just encouraged creativity and then a dad who's incredibly logical.
Yeah.
Because I kind of got both, where it was like, if you can figure out how to make money at a thing that you like, full send, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, I think it's that. Just encourage them, treat them like a human, protect their innocence, but make sure they're ready for the world when they get into it.
That's amazing advice.
One last thing. How's your dad doing?
He's good, thank you. Yeah, he had a really terrible blood cancer scare in 2017, but literally thanks to stem cell replacement, he completely reset his immune system and is currently in remission.
That's awesome.
And I know I should have followed up on that, but the problem is that I already knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for asking that, Cole.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
For sure. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been another good episode. It's been a good one.
It's been fabulous.
I really appreciated you having me on.
It's so positive. I love you so much. I don't think people
Appreciate you.
understand like how lucky we are to have you in our comedy scene.
Oh,
And I do really mean that.
I
do really mean
appreciate
that. Like you are this slice of wholesomeness and this slice of good in a world of fucking crazy. And I mean, there's sometimes where I literally like look through a room to see you
just to calm down.
just to calm down a little bit. Yeah. Because I'm like, oh, thank God there's a normal one here.
Yeah. There's a human here.
Not everybody's humping stools and fucking acting stupid.
I appreciate that.
No, I do. And you're one of the most functional people I know. You're one of the most together people I know. And I think it is a true testament to your parents and how well you were raised.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. And we joked about this when we were talking about dating woes.
Yeah.
It's so difficult for me to date because my dad's so great. If you were to have said that to my parents just now, my dad would have been like, Patty did it all.
Yeah.
He's like, you know.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you know, I know he had his part, and you know he had his
Oh,
part.
yeah, 100%.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go hunting with your dad soon.
With all of us.
Yeah.
Let's go. We'll go on a
No,
road trip.
please, just me and dad.
Just your dad. Just my dad. Fuck.
And I'm going to film it.
You're
so,
going to take
you know.
my spot as favorite son.
Straight up.
Don't tell TJ I'm the favorite son.
It will not take long. Okay. As soon as I start loading up the 308 shells, he's gonna be like, "That's my boy."
Seriously, dude. Oh, dang it. If you pull up shooting a 243 or a 25-06, then he'll really be impressed.
I was like, Dad, you want the 7 mil or 308? Which one we taking today? You want to shoot flat or you want to shoot long? All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Tammy's Boy. Keep doing the thing that you're doing by liking, subscribing, and sharing, and we'll keep doing the thing that we're doing by trying to grow this into the best podcast in the whole damn world. Thank you, Tammy's kids, for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Each family brings joy. It's a childhood destroyed.